are quite good. Attack warning.
Is it for real?
Attack warning. It's for bloody real.
Live from Colorado Springs, the Drop Culture Podcast.
Want to confirm, is this an exercise? Roger, copy. This is not an exercise.
Come on, quick, get down. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Drop Culture Podcast Quickcast. My name is Brock Smith.
And I'm Dan.
And
Hello.
how is everybody doing out there? It's cool. It came in like a hurricane, you know?
He came in like a cannonball.
Yeah, I chose hurricane.
Or wrecking ball.
Wrecking ball.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the song I hear every time I go to Walmart.
Yeah, right.
Every time I go to Walmart.
Miley Cyrus, brought to you by Walmart.
Yes. I'll be in the Christmas section. Coming like a wrecking ball. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Why is that the same song?
I do like the Thanksgiving meme of the turkey on the wrecking ball, and it says I came in like a butterball. I enjoy that meme.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that makes more sense on that part of it.
Yeah, it's funny. A little funny.
Well, if this is your first experience with the Drop Culture Podcast Quickcast,
Are you experienced?
welcome aboard. We're going to take you on a ride. Yep, and talk about nothing.
Oh, cool.
But stuff that matters to us.
Yeah.
And stuff that you might be interested in as well.
Or maybe not. Who cares?
We're broadcasting today from where the eagles and the hawks and birds of prey are flying above our heads and screeching, "Wah!"
That's a fact.
It's crazy to really think that we're in the mountains in this fucking like cool ass fucking area, and you hear fucking eagles. You see eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
For sure.
And the black squirrels.
Yeah.
The coolest fucking squirrels in the world. You're like, whoa, stick out like a sore thumb. How does that work?
Some years back, maybe 10 years back, the black squirrels that were in Pueblo, maybe it wasn't the black squirrels, maybe it was just the regular squirrels, but they had the black plague.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I think I remember that. Yeah, no. I think my wife said something about that because at that time, I reached the point in my age to where like I believe that every year you get older, and you know.
I believe that too.
Yeah, every year. Okay, I got to get to the basics of it. I got to get to the basics of this
okay.
whole.
Yeah.
Okay, so there comes a point in everybody's life where you decide that it's the right way to do this one thing, right?
Sure.
Like, this is how I change lanes. I don't do anything different. Nothing should be different for anybody else, right? You become old, right? It's like an old trait, right? So I was thinking the other day, God dang, when do you just like turn that on at these random times? And if you notice it, you know,
right, sure.
And it's something like this. It's like I noticed how, I don't know, I'm to the point where I'm to the age now that squirrels are interesting. And I don't understand why, you know, because I mean, squirrels have always been interesting. To some people, that's their major in college. Squirrels, you know,
wow.
The migration patterns or whatever the fuck, right?
Somebody's studying that.
Somebody's really putting a lot of effort into that because they love it, you know?
Love them squirrels.
Right. But as a stereotypical, you know, milquetoast man in fucking America now, squirrels are interesting. And I'm like, hey, buddy, you know, they got names and shit.
Oh.
When there's those points.
Well, Disney ingrained that in you early. And they're
Yes,
like,
I'm
here's
like-
the chipmunks.
Yeah,
That's
and-
Dale.
And those motherfuckers can literally like just go crazy on you.
Sure.
You know, I've read about it too. Like I'm interested in it, and I'm like,
okay.
oh shit, goddamn.
True story. My ex-wife walked out of our house. We had a big tree in the front yard, and a squirrel jumped out of the tree and attacked her, like landed on her leg out of the tree.
just went
like
nuts?
it was going all over, and she like flipped out, and I don't know. Yeah, anyways,
Grabbing a blanket and a broom. No. It's just, and I was just thinking about that with a lot of the things that
animals know evil.
that you do like in your normal like everyday life that become looked at as being like senior traits almost.
Right, sure.
You're like, oh, fucking
my lawn.
curmudgeon-y and shit, you know. And you're like, but if you notice that, it's just, to me, I was like, holy shit, when does that happen? I need to fucking start paying attention and not become such a fucking old square.
Right.
Like, I'm never gonna say that again. Fuck you. You know, fucking motherfuckers. Fucking screwing us over.
I know you're not a big football guy. I watched a portion of the NFL draft.
A porridge?
A porridge of it, yes. A portion.
Oh, yeah. So who came out on top?
Nobody cares.
Oh,
My team got the people I wanted them to get, and that's
nice,
fine.
nice. I know a lot of people that like live for the draft.
Oh,
and shit,
sure,
yeah.
sure. No, there was definitely some big like people that, like the Falcons just paid Kirk Cousins from Minnesota, the quarterback, like a bunch of money, like $100 and something million to come be their quarterback. Because they have a good young team, they just have shitty quarterback. But then they drafted a quarterback like 9th overall or something. And like they didn't tell him they were going to do that. You know,
He's
so that was interesting.
He's
But
like, what the fuck?
But what I found odd is Pat McAfee, who's a former player, punter, actually has a pretty popular show, and has recently, I believe it was ESPN or somebody co-opted it or something, right?
Right.
And he's very popular. And so we had a guy who's a fantasy analyst for a fantasy and draft analyst for ESPN on his show, Mel Kiper, and he's very well known in the fantasy world for sure.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
I have never heard, like, you know, he's always been a network guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So he's always prim and proper.
I have
type of-
never heard somebody say the F word more times. Like, he's a big Packers fan, and he's like going off like, they're not going to pick who I want. They're going to pick some blah, blah, blah. Like, I won't even be able to pronounce his name. Offensive lineman.
God damn.
You know,
Did
blah,
he
blah.
like switch
And
on a different persona?
dude, and he's like, fuck. He's just slamming his hand. He's like, I think I broke my hand. I was like, holy shit, dude. I was like, so I didn't watch the draft on like whatever it was presented on. I just watched his thing of the draft, and I had the little draft tracker up on my computer.
Right. Oh,
You know, I
God
was
damn.
like, yeah, cool.
Well, you take that pretty seriously because I know you participate in a lot of that stuff too, right?
Well, yeah. I've
Not
been-
that serious. I
No,
know that.
yeah,
but yeah. But,
I don't take anything too seriously.
But what I was thinking is
for sure, like 15 years in
Oh yeah, yeah.
the league, and
you always do really well, right?
I do okay. Yeah, I'm in the playoffs every year.
So
minimum.
what if somebody were to stake you like a big amount of money for a fantasy football? You'd have the information to be able to pick some pretty good winners, right?
Sure.
And to do well in a bigger money league, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be cool.
I think so.
Yeah,
We've talked about it before because there's some big leagues that happen in Vegas and stuff. But like the teams are like $3,000.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah, shit.
and that'd be cool with that. I wouldn't want to put that all on me and just
Right,
go
right,
do it, but
right,
like maybe with a couple buddies
Yeah,
do it. You know,
something
that'd be
like
cool.
that. Shit.
It'd be fun to do.
Yeah, I think that would be a interesting idea because you've done it for so long.
Yeah.
So why not? You know what I mean? And it would make sense because you do have the whatever. Yeah, you have the experience with it. So-
Well, and I think being a football fan, so I also have played all the Madden since like '94.
right.
That's like something I have knowledge about. Yes,
Right,
for sure.
right.
you
Yeah,
know.
definitely. Shit.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I do the fantasy football so much for money.
Oh yeah,
You know, it's
of
just like
course.
fun. It's
No, yeah, you've gotten into it and it's still rolling, and plus, again, you're good at it. So
yeah, I do okay.
yeah, it's
you
like
know.
an art. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
is. It really is.
It's like it's really like I would say the years I do the best in it is when I really invest time, because there's times when I'm just it's not the year for that. I'm just doing what I can. Right?
Sometimes you can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you love something like that, it's hard to not want to spend the time with it.
Well, like I remember going up on like a Saturday, right? So Sunday, like a lot of times, like if players like on an injured list or something, that's Sunday mornings when you know, right?
Right.
And I remember going up into the mountains with my wife on a Saturday, and I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, motherfucker, I won't be able to check. I'm like trying to get service, you know, like wherever, nothing.
Yeah.
And because I didn't make the switch that I thought I should have made right before I left, I ended up losing, and I was like, but I would never not spend that time with my wife is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, so that's, I don't care that I lost.
Exactly. No, yeah, you have that.
So I have years where I'm more entrenched than when I'm not, you know?
Yeah.
Like this year I've been traveling a lot, so I have a lot of hotel time.
So you got time.
So I had some time to look and, move people around and do things, you know what I mean?
You're using your time wisely.
Yeah, I am. That's it.
Well, it's something you love,
Yeah,
so yeah. I consider it too.
Camaraderie of the people, you know, and like the bragging rights.
Yeah.
And,
well, I feel guilty every time I watch a movie or some shit. I'm like, I'm doing this for research. I love movies. Right? Like, fuck you, man. You're just lazy. You know what I mean?
Well,
but then, yeah, I really do pay attention. I love it. Ding dong.
Yeah. Hello. Back off, Google Chrome.
Hey, would you like to check out our new update? Fuck you, man. I thought I turned that shit off.
So what have you been up to, man? What have you been watching? What have you been doing?
X-Men 97.
Yeah.
I want to talk that because it is such a fucking great show. It is a very, 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 very good show. It's lived up to its reputation from when we were growing up.
I will say I so far have got more than I expected out of it, because I kind of expected it to be a kid's cartoon.
Right.
But it's pretty deep, and it's got good story beats. The art's awesome.
Man, the art is coming in like, it's like, this is perfect for this. It doesn't need to be anymore, but you know these characters so well.
Right.
After all, even if you only watch like 2 or 3 seasons.
Right, sure.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
You knew these things. Yeah, I mean, it was just revolutionary when it came out, but then still, now you're like, fucking A, man, we got mutants.
Well, I mean, realistically, like, was it 94, I think, was when it started?
Mm-hmm.
Originally. And that was right in the heyday of, like, still reading X-Men comics, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, oh shit, this is
X-Men #1 hit the most highest the highest selling book of all time.
Yeah.
It was fucking X-Men #1. Who was it? Chris Claremont and Jim Lee or something. Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, why not? Yeah. And then Pizza Hut was running shit.
Was that Claremont?
Was it Claremont? It was Jim Lee.
I know it was Jim Lee. I'll bet. You go.
But then the show came out, and I remember when the show came out, you could order a large pizza from Pizza Hut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then opt to pay an extra, like, fucking absorbent amount of money, like $8.99 for a fucking VHS, right? With a 30-minute episode, Night of the Sentinels. Everybody got part 1. Not a lot of people got part 2. Go to any thrift store in the fucking tri-state area, and I swear to God, there's a Night of the Sentinels part 1,
right,
in one of the fucking bins. But I remember just even waking up on Saturdays to watch the fucking. That was one of the last big shows to watch for me on Saturday mornings, because there was always really cool shit to watch growing up. But then it's like it progressed. And when Fox came out with their cartoons, it was like, oh shit.
It was Claremont, by the way.
Yeah. It was like, oh my God. It was like, this shit is fucking still like legit. Even my parents noticed it.
Sure.
They were like, oh shit, this is like watching a like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Like, and that was the first time I kind of correlated them, and that was a big correlation for me to see that and be like, oh, well, then there's other shit like this. Maybe what if they?
Well, comic books are soap operas, especially
Yeah,
the
of
X-Men.
course.
Like anything that's got a big ensemble,
Which is great.
which is what it should be. I mean,
The
you're
X-Men
gonna
is
drive
like
it on
the
characters,
ultimate.
yeah.
Because they can go to outer space. They can everything you can think of. The X-Men just really encapsulate that, and I think with this new show too, with them pushing the not a mutant agenda, but a difference agenda on that part of it.
Mhm.
They're not really pushing it, but they're like, hey, what the X-Men were founded from was being alienated for being different.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely
Yes.
an analog for the black community
Right.
at the time.
Now think about what's going on right now.
So now it's like pretty much like
Everything.
the LBGT and all that, and
And there's people that are, using the term woke for everything.
right.
It's just like the X-Men are showing it too. It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, it was founded on that.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's important for it to stay intrinsic
Right.
within, that property for sure.
I don't think I really understood that back when the first cartoon came out.
Gotcha.
I don't think I understood that part of it because I really wasn't invested in it that much, and it didn't have a lot of history behind me. So it was
Sure.
a good introduction into a lot of shit. But now,
I had read X-Men comics before that came out.
right? Me
you
too.
know.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was kinda
X-Men
my-
classics and shit.
Oh,
I read a lot of the X-Men classics, which were the remakes of the old ones.
yeah.
Which is pretty cool to
Yeah,
think
for
about.
sure.
Yeah.
For
That
sure.
was back like with Web of Spider-Man, but I still pick those books up all the time too.
Right on.
Like the 80s X-Men. God. The Uncanny X-Men with pretty much when like Rogue was starting to really be big, and then in this show she's like, holy good God.
yeah. She's the rogue from the comics in this, for
She's
sure.
a badass,
Yeah.
like a complete fucking badass. Shows restraint, but yet still at the same time can fucking like kill somebody. It's like, damn, she's badass.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully they bring Rogue into the MCU
Yeah.
in a good way.
I think they will. There's two things that I'd like to, while we're still on X-Men 97, I would like to see Gambit come back as Death for Apocalypse when he shows up,
That'd be cool.
because I'm sure that's going to happen again.
It's got to.
Even
Yeah.
though I know they had that, I think they had that run in the original cartoons because they had Angel
Yes.
become Death,
Yeah, he was.
which
Yeah.
was the original story.
Right.
Yeah. But when Gambit became Death, that was super cool looking, and he was a badass dude.
He was badass in this.
Yeah, for
too.
sure.
That whole fight scene kind of came out of nowhere, and was like, Jesus Christ, they wiped it out. And bringing in Genosha to it, or Genosha.
Yeah.
Genosha.
Whatever.
Ganoush.
It's however you read it when you were 12.
Yeah.
It's how you pronounce it when you're 12. It's how you pronounce it now. Oh, Genosha. Everybody there's got an accent.
like Banshee. No, it was. I've enjoyed this show so much, and I hope they do more than like 8 or 9 episodes. Man.
Yeah. Well, kind of transitioning that into what you were saying about bringing Rogue into the MCU. One of the things I think that we know now, we're going to get this Fantastic Four movie, and we're going to get an X-Men reboot movie before Avengers 6 or whatever it is, supposed to be Secret Wars, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at their.
I think there's a
slate sheet.
movie in between there, like an Avengers movie in between there, and then 6 will be the Secret Wars, which in the comics is what brought like Miles Morales into our world and all those things.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. The newest version of the Secret
Yeah,
Wars,
yeah.
right? Not the Beyonder.
Not the Beyonder stuff. Even though there was Beyonders involved in this that caused the issue.
Yeah, that's
But
why it's
that's
still
a whole
Secret
different
Wars.
story. Yeah.
That's why it's still Secret Wars. I haven't
Mole
read the
Man
new
was a
ones.
bomb in every universe. Anyways, Doom. That's all you need to know. But I think knowing that track, right?
Right.
Of what we're going to get, I think that we'll get Rogue as she is now in these cartoons introduced just like that,
I hope so.
and that would be cool.
Yeah, because she was a bad. She was evil in the first incarnation or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I've been always looking for because the covers that she had for the Uncanny X-Men were always so like really iconic, and she looked different.
Yeah, she had that like weird, shorter hair.
Yeah,
with the big white stripe through it.
Yeah, it was like she
kind of looked like a skunk a little bit.
Yeah, she was the teacher's aide or some shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? With the
yeah.
same green suit and everything.
Yeah.
But then whenever she got Captain Marvel's powers, I guess that was whenever she switched and they utilized her better.
Yeah, well,
you know.
Yeah, she's a different power set too, though. I mean, when you got the power of Captain Marvel and Rogue, basically now.
Well, you can absorb everything.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can fucking change all this shit. I don't know. It's
she's
badass.
got a lot of. She's got a.
The Nightcrawler in here too.
Yeah,
Fucking
Nightcrawler
awesome.
was great.
And Nightcrawler in this. Nightcrawler is still one of my favorite X-Men
Sure.
of all time. He just is like super cool, but then there's so much of a backstory with him too that would be really cool to really get more into it. I know they have. The Nightcrawler, he had his own like mini series, I think.
Yeah, he had a 4-issue miniseries, I think, or 6.
Yeah, it was something. He's always been so
I
interesting.
think he might have had more than one.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, before he like was on or was with Excalibur and shit.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Obviously, like just a cool design for a character. His power's cool. The fact that he's a swashbuckler.
Yeah.
And he's like a devout Catholic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's ever been done, and maybe I just missed it, but if there's never been like a comic where Daredevil and Nightcrawler have uncovered something with the Catholic Church.
Holy shit.
They're missing out.
Damn, that's a great premise right there. That's a great idea.
And who would you want to fight in the dark?
Damn.
Daredevil and Nightcrawler? No, thank you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and Daredevil having to adapt to his teleportation style without like.
yeah, well, their first encounter would be interesting.
Yes.
For sure.
It would be like, hey,
but they're like both on the trail of some secret thing with the Catholic Church,
Something
and then they
weird.
get together. Of course, you'll have to have your obligatory. Oh, we got to punch each other for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh no,
No, wait a minute.
We're on the same path.
Somebody's about to win, and they're like, whoa. Hold up. No, that's a great idea.
Yeah, they should definitely do that.
Yeah, you'd have to have some mysticism in there too. Somebody fucking really crazy.
Yeah.
Coming, that'd be badass.
Yeah.
Like even Mephisto, shit like that. Weird shit. Dormammu. what fucking kind of name is that? Dormammu.
I don't know. It's fun to say.
Yeah, I know, right? I would like to see
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Yeah. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. It's time for the jargon. Well, shit. I've watched. Besides that, it's really not a lot of really interesting stuff. X-Men 97, I'm looking forward to every week.
There you go.
It's a pretty cool show.
I was kind of fiending to watch some live action X-Men stuff. I didn't really want to watch any of the movies again,
right?
Because there are a few that I really really like of the X-Men movies.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's a few that I really really don't.
X-Men 3. Fuck you, Brett Ratner.
Anything involving Phoenix. Involving Phoenix. But at any rate, so I was going through, I remembered that Gen X show or whatever it was. I don't think that was the name of it. Something like that.
Yeah.
From the 90s. And I was like, yeah, that show's fucking terrible. And then I found a show that came out, and I want to say 2017 or something like that. It was called The Gifted, and it was a Fox show. And it's a really cool premise because basically the Mutant Registration Act is they have a force that'll just come to your house and take you if you're a mutant basically, and you put somebody in danger or whatever, right?
Yeah, or ever show your powers.
But some people never come back, kind of a deal. But one of the DAs, whose last name's Strucker, by the way, and that actually plays into Marvel canon later on. But him and his family, his kids, if they find out they're mutants, the girl's apparently known the whole time, but you find out with the son, right?
Oh, wow.
And then they have to go on the run, and they intersect with this group of underground mutants led by Thunderbird and Polaris and some other folks that I can't remember off the top of my head, and it's really done pretty well.
Nice. Isn't Thunderbird the one X-Men that has truly died.
Yeah. Because well, and don't get me wrong, we got his brother that took to the same place.
Right.
Warpath is like I love Warpath's character, but yeah,
It's
you're
like
absolutely right. He never
like,
came back that I know of.
He's the only one that is like died, and
Yeah, he didn't Jean Grey us.
yeah, he kind of Bucky Barnes us. For
so
now,
he'll come back.
So he will.
Yeah, as the Winter Warrior.
Yeah, Donny Cates will bring him back. Something like that. That's crazy. No, man, I have been reading some pretty good comic books. I'm still going through Legion. I've been going through my actual physical comics and really looking at all of my my Captain Americas, and I can't wait to have the whole set. You know what I mean? So I could just sit there and read through them. There's nothing like that.
Sure.
So I still got 200 something. It's still pretty cool though.
Right on.
Having some key issues is pretty cool. But
for sure,
going to the comic book store too. Yeah. That's about it, really. That's about it.
Well, I went and saw a movie this week.
Oh yeah, what'd you go see?
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Now, who's in this one?
It's Henry Cavill. Is the main guy. So, and then Alan Rickman, I think is his name. Here, let me pull it up. I think I've got it pulled up somewhere. But he plays Reacher on the show.
Oh yeah, the really big, tall, like fucking Hulk dude.
Yeah, he also played Hawk on of Dove and Hawk.
Oh
on
yeah,
Titans.
Yeah.
So him, and then actually Carrie Elwes is in it.
Wow.
He's not like one of their main group, but he's like a supporter under Winston Churchill. So it's all based on a true story. It was a secret operation to they pulled this guy out of whatever prison. Like he wasn't nobody like the royal family or something didn't like him. He was too crazy, right? But he was like he was in the military. But he puts together this group. In the movie, he puts together this group, and he's like, I need this and this and this to go do this. But basically what they want him to do is to sail down to Africa, off Court of Africa, and like take out this Italian boat that's supplying all of the filtration systems for the U-boats so that they can disable basically the U-boats for a while.
Okay.
But it is great. It is funny. It is action-packed. Alan Rickman plays the Swede guy, and he just kills everybody with bow and arrows and knives and stuff, and he's like a killing machine once he starts. It's really good. So that was all a true story, and basically it's like an unsanctioned mission that Winston Churchill puts together.
Oh, clandestine.
Yes.
Yeah, like the A-Team.
And Carrie Elwes works for him.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so they go down and they're supposed to destroy this ship, but like they find out that it was reinforced and it won't explode. So they have to steal that ship. They steal the ship and like the two tugboats. And this is all kind of based on this real story. Like, and they even kind of play it out. I mean, obviously the Swede guy didn't look like Alan Rickman, or Richson, whatever his name is.
Alan Richson?
Richson.
Because Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just said his name wrong.
Alan Rickman's, he's gone.
Yeah. That's a different guy altogether. But the main bad guy, Till Schweiger, and you've seen him and stuff. He's great. He's like awesome as the German that runs that little island for the Nazis.
Nice.
Great movie though. Just
cool.
He was in Inglourious Bastards, that Till Schweiger.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That dude, he's always intense.
Yeah.
He fucking does some great shit.
For sure.
Stieglitz.
Yes. But yeah, dude, it was almost 2 hours exactly without the credits.
Wow.
And I enjoyed the whole damn movie, which was great. It wasn't, I mean, it was fun. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's like a group of dudes like taking down Nazis, which you gotta love.
Yeah, it's like the guns in the Navarone.
Yeah.
That's cool as shit, though.
Yeah,
man.
but it was a good movie.
I know I've heard about it, but I don't think I knew anything about it.
I would recommend it.
Nice.
I would recommend it. It was enjoyable. But what I really want to talk about is the trailers, Brock. What is going on in the world?
I have no fucking clue, dude.
So the first trailer I saw, Twisters. I'm a rock and roll tornado guy. What? A cowboy tornado fella. What?
Rock and roll suicide. Wow.
There's two of them.
No.
What? Oh my God, dude. Is there... And, just as I was about to gouge my eyes out, because I'm like, really? Like, not one original idea in the world? Then the next trailer comes on, and I'm like, I hear the music, and I'm like, oh, no. The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling.
That is everywhere. Their major fucking push for the summer blockbuster season is outrageous right now. It is. They're everywhere.
Dude, I just don't... Well, the thing is like, I remember us a year ago.
Yeah.
Being like, what the fuck? They're remaking The Fall Guy?
Right.
And then it's all of a sudden, now it's like, oh, hey, by the way, Fall Guy, Ryan Gosling. Whoop-a-doop.
They released the big trailer for it, like, oh my God, like 6 months ago, and it's been cooking and simmering. You know what I mean? It's like a fucking...
I didn't even know there was a trailer out, because why would I have seen that? I would have probably just skipped right over it.
I saw it at the movies.
Gotcha.
And then, like, they had advertisements with that built into it, and now they still do, right? And Marina Menounos is like, fucking talking about that shit, right? And you're like, holy fuck, that's all they talk about. And it's all over all the TV shows, everything that you watch, every advertisement. It's got a Diet Pepsi fucking with the stuntman on it or some shit. It's fucked up, dude. Don't get me wrong. The way that they've built that trailer, it's a fucking perfect movie. It is. It is. It's going to appeal to somebody.
Oh, it's going to appeal to a lot of folks.
Yeah, and everybody's going to go see it, and it's going to be bigger than freaking Jesus for the moment. You know what I mean? It's going to be up there.
He's no Lee Majors.
Exactly. He's not married to Farrah Fawcett. So I'm like, oh, God. It's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Is somebody dialing up? That's what that sounded like. It sounded like a dial-up. Like, it's like, Mom, I'm downloading a photo.
I did see one trailer that I do want to see the movie, and that's that Tom Hardy's The Bike Riders.
Yeah.
About the first, biker gang in Chicago.
Motorcycle.
Yeah. Which is weird because, I recently watched The Wild One.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
I have that movie on VHS. When I found it, I was like, holy shit, this is a great movie. Now, it's great in a way.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of whoa.
Yeah, there's some moments in that movie where you're like, huh.
And so it's not necessarily that you're young, it's just that you're immature.
Yeah. That's what it seems like.
This one looks like a Martin Scorsese, needs to have the Rolling Stones in the trailer. You know what I mean? Yeah, just a shot away. Like a fucking classic Goodfellas one and shit.
Yeah. That looks really good.
Yeah, it looks fucking great.
And I was excited about that last year when I thought it was coming out last year. And then they had the strike and all that. And then it got I think it got pushed off the calendar for the distribution company.
Yeah. Shit happens. This is going to be an Academy Award movie. I think the Academy Award movie has already been wrapped up for the year. No shit. And if it hasn't already been wrapped up, it's because there's going to be something else that comes out that's just going to
be a new Barbenheimer.
Yeah, it's going to blow the doors off this mother, right? And because I went and saw during the opening weekend for the first time in a while. I went and saw the Civil War.
Yeah, how was that?
Exactly what it should have been. It's a farce, and it's so funny to really think about, because it's just literally it's another blueprint of what could happen and it's stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just the whole overall idea behind it. And I think it's a very, very good like point back at us of what we're allowing to happen or what we could allow to happen.
Sure.
So they wrap it up in a nice little bow by putting a great story behind it. Okay, I got it. But the rest of it is just part of it. And that's what the parody, I think, is. And that's,
Okay.
and you know how I hate the term love letter. And that's how it's been described, as a love letter to the journalists, you know, and I'm like, motherfucker, you know, just let it be what it is,
Right,
you know?
right.
And it's a group of people we have no idea, like the Storm Chasers. So think about that. Think
Yeah.
about the first Twister.
Mm-hmm.
Twister was a major blockbuster that was supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Right? That was a ride, but that was a section of people that we didn't know about. Right? That we didn't really know how they did whatever they did. Storm Chasers were like, oh, they're crazy. And then
Right.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's like, dude, cheese nerds. What? So you get this really fantastic movie, and that's a great way to digest it. And that's why
Sure.
we have a part 2 now.
Yeah.
This one is
That's
the art
wild.
house version of something like that.
Gotcha.
So you wrap it up in this great story, and you hit all the right points, and that's exactly what it does. I mean, it's so digestible. But what was crazy to me about before the movie even started, right? So I had already eaten like I had a party favor before, you know, we even got through the door. So I was
Gotcha.
expecting,
Sure.
popcorn, all like, oh, now it's time for Twizzlers. You know what I mean? So I'm there, right? But then all of a sudden the ads come on, and they're like, this church is having this big old giant weekend for this and that. And then it was like the ads were all about trucks. And it was just a weird deal. And it was nothing but red band trailers too.
Right,
So
right.
you got nothing but like the real deals. There was a couple of movies that were like, well, it looks cool. I don't really remember them. Because yes, I was in anticipation for this one.
Yeah.
So what's really great about it is they don't tell you how everything got the way it got, you know, why it was this way. They just kind of throw you into this, like, it's just like Beirut, you know, it's like you're going to the IRA, you're in Ireland, you know,
Right,
during the
sure.
fucking late 70s, early 80s and shit. And they even kind of reference that because they're photojournalists and journalists that all travel together. And she's a famous one, of course. You know, she's like the biggest one. And you got the up and comer. So that's the dichotomy in the story that you got, which is, again, like I said, digestible. But then, and it's played out very well, acted very well by everybody that's part of it. But then you have what's going on the outside.
Right.
Which I don't think, I hopefully, because the dude that directed it is fucking like total. He's like, nah, I'm not going to pull any punches.
Right.
So even he was literal in the music and the sound. Now the sound was like one of the most important parts. Anything that can make you jump out of your seat sometimes fucking is worth it.
Yeah.
Just because it's not necessarily you're going in for a ride, but something like that is immersive.
Right.
Because it's so quiet, and then boom, shit.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
I jump all the time too, right? My wife's like, you don't get scared. And I'm like, that's not scared. Whenever I'm just fucking like, I don't know. What do I call that?
Startled.
Yes. And she makes fun of that too. And I'm like, man, come on. I get startled. You get scared. Leave me alone. So, but it had a lot of very, very good sound cues. But then the music that they added onto it, the whoever was in charge of the music, and it's going to sound, you know, I'm pandering to this certain band, but the way that they used Suicide's music in it, fucking perfect.
Nice.
You know, and because that is a function of what that music is inadvertently.
Yeah.
It's a finger pointing back. It's like, you're not going to leave the streets to come watch us. We're going to bring the streets to you, and that's what these fucking songs represent.
Right.
And what's really fucking cool about that shit is they ended it with the perfect song. Them going into this almost like forbidden zone was, you know, Rocket USA. And you're like, just in awe that they were creating these images with this music. And you're like, this is fucking perfect, right? So I'm biased because of that.
Sure.
100%. I'm going to be biased. And I understand that. But what I can say is after everything's all said and done in that movie, again, as another fucking pay attention, motherfuckers, message that we're getting.
Yeah.
It should be fucking something that we see. Something that we look at lightheartedly, but then also you can see the tragedy in what's going on fucking around you. So there's so many inferences
Sure.
with this movie,
Sure.
if that's even a fucking word, that you can really take and you can really look at and you could be like, damn, that's, maybe I'm reading too much into it. But
Well, if you are, then
lovely,
you know that means
yeah.
a lot of other people are too.
I hope so, because I think a lot of the people that were originally there were to see, you know, that kind of incel behavior that, you know, like fuck Trump and, you know, funk Biden, you know, raising taxes type shit. I think a lot of people went in there like that. So that's why the marketing and that's why, you know, whenever that first note of Rocket USA hit, I was like, damn, you know, this is not what those people are expecting. I'm not
Right,
expecting
sure.
it either, you know, because I was kind of expecting it to be a one-sided kind of a thing, and use, I don't know, literary markers, but this one really did a good job of making you pay attention to the story. But whenever it mattered, what was really going on, the way that Alex Garland just like fucking was like, fuck you, motherfuckers.
Right.
And he's English. So he's looking from a different lens.
Right.
Then we're looking at this journalism deal. And yeah, I mean, the journalism part of it, the people that are in the wartime photographers that are doing those shots and then having to, there's so many layers to that too, because whenever you're a photographer and you're witnessing somebody like getting shot, that's how they started it off.
Right.
Somebody literally getting burned alive, you know, how does a journalist live through a life like that where you could, instead of taking a photo, possibly like the African, you know, little boy or a little girl that was like trapped in the flood, and then the other Indian girl, you know, that was trapped in the flood too, and then they were going to die. I mean, the most iconic photographs that these people live through, and they know that it's a conflict to go in there and interfere.
Right.
But at the same time, it's just like that's
human nature.
huge.
Yeah, sure.
And that's a huge part of this movie.
Okay.
That's where the wrapping into a nice narrative comes into it. So you're like, holy fuck. So technically those people can be considered part of the problem as well, the media, you know, but at the same time, you're like, it's the human element that you got in there too. You're bringing the truth, but what's the truth to you? It's pretty deep.
Well, I think media and journalists are two different things.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think that most people I shouldn't say most. I think that there's a good percentage of people who call themselves journalists who are hacks.
Yeah.
And they're just getting paid to say whatever they're being told to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with knowing propaganda's behind it.
Yeah. Big time.
But I think there are still real journalists out there somewhere.
Oh yeah. No.
I don't know who they are.
And it's hard. It's hard to trust anything now because it's literally just, it's always out there being like, don't fucking trust anything that you read anymore.
Well,
I'm like, what? Why can't I anymore? Why can't I have responsible journalists out there that
that's
are
the
like,
problem, right?
not trying to get a click?
It's our job now to vet their reporting,
which is stupid.
Yeah. All I want's and I've said this for years. All I want is the facts.
You're right.
I don't need your inference of your emotion about it. Like that's not
Right.
your job.
Right.
Your job is not to make me feel a certain way. You're supposed to deliver the facts.
Right. And you know what's going on right now? Right now. This is one of those moments. This is a dad moment. This is the one where you're like, yeah, that's the way it is. Like I was talking about earlier. This is one of those moments. It's one of those like, that makes perfect fucking sense, doesn't it? Yes, it does. I agree with that. Yeah, let me go get some coffee real quick. You know what I mean? That's exactly
For
the kind of
sure.
stuff I was talking about. But really, whenever we're
That's just logic, though.
I
mean,
know
that's just
exactly.
like,
Right.
come on.
That's exactly what I was kind of. It was.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, of course, that's right.
Yeah.
Your brain's like, dude, for real. You really didn't see it that way? For how long now? Yep. That's my brain coming out of 14. Like, huh? You're grown up now? Motherfucker. But no, that's what's the really cool part about that whole movie is you can really... This is a movie I think that you could dissect in a, like, I don't know, in a astute scholarly way. I don't even know if it was meant to be that way, or it's so fucking awesome on the surface.
Right.
I think the surface part of it, you're just like, God damn, man. Damn, holy shit, that's feasible, you know? Because you're looking for that. At least I was. Whenever it was on, I was like, I got to see if this would be a feasible thing, but you didn't know.
Right.
So how could you really think that this could happen or it couldn't happen or something like that? It was really fucking cool. Even at the end, the action was good throughout the whole thing, not just at the end. But there was a lot of like big moments, you know, but then there was a lot of that really just that tension.
Right.
I was expecting something different, but it wasn't one-sided.
Okay.
That was the best part about it. And I think that's what's the thing that separates it, is because you have all of that political bullshit happening on the outside, right? But these journalists doing their job, right? So you're really supposed to be following them. Right. You know, you're really supposed to have them as your main lens, but you are seeing the world through their lens anyway. Sure. Right? But then the inference, I guess, of what's going on the outside, how it got that way, what type of people are these, you know, what type of people are the ones that are against it, you know, and then there's the bystanders that are like, it's going on. They even walk into a place and they're like, don't you know there's like a pretty large civil war going on? And they're like, yeah, we're not even paying attention to it. So it's like that's the enemy too, is the avarice, you know, is just the fucking, I don't give a shit. Yep. So you have military, there's different factions of that shit throughout the whole deal. You got this big giant clash. You're watching it through there. But then at the same time, it's like a wasteland of fucking nothing. People just like, oh, well, as long as I got internet, I'm good.
Don't you think that's how it would be, though?
Yes, that's fucking America. That is exactly what we're looking at. And they could literally be having a fucking fight on the Capitol steps tomorrow. Right. You know, and that's where it's like, does it really need to do that? Because that's fucking fantasy. But yet they're really kind of trying to live that. So at first I was thinking it was going to be one-sided and we're going to be like, fuck those Trump supporters and blah, blah, blah. That's not pretty much what it was about. It was like the extremist part of it that you could see happening. Right. And the character that they had was Nick Offerman was the president. Okay. In this, so they don't really pick a side. Sure. Good. But they do. Sure. You know, you're not really on that side, but it's so fucking blatant. Right. And the one journalist's whole deal, not Kristen Dunst, she's just a photographer, but the one journalist's whole deal is he wants to interview the president first, but then they go through this whole deal, and you're just like, holy shit. Damn. Then it ends with fucking Dream Baby Dream by Suicide. Nice. You're like, holy shit. Fuck. Damn. And they even have the still photographs at the very end too. Still photographs, I think, in movies like Night of the Living Dead, that they will play over kind of at the end. You're like, damn, that's so fucking cool.
They can be very powerful if they're done right. That's for sure.
Just like Romero's, you know, I mean, as simple as zooming in on photographs to something you couldn't see. And you're like, holy shit, damn, they're burning them all. Oh, it's fucking Ben. No, but I recommend everybody seeing it because I thought it was an important movie to see in the theater for me, or just to even see and acknowledge. Right. Because it was fucking, I didn't really know that much about it. All I saw was like one preview maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I saw a preview a long time ago for it. I remember that, like, again, like months ago. Right. And then when you said you went and saw it, I was like, what movie is that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it took me a minute to remember seeing that preview. That was an option I had to go see. So if you want to go see something that has some depth, go see Civil War. sounds like. And if you want to go see something that's just a fun Guy Ritchie movie, that has some historical basis, go see Ministry of the Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah, well, didn't they come out? What was his TV show?
Oh, The Gentleman,
Yeah.
which was excellent. I love that show. It was really good.
We went. I think we're in like 4 episodes in it
Yeah.
right now. We've been trying a lot of different series.
Yeah, we watched that one pretty quick. Like
Yeah.
my wife and I we don't. There's some shows like we just don't watch some shows together. You know.
Yeah, I know you recommended it.
Yeah.
A couple weeks back. We still haven't.
Guy Ritchie all around.
I know. I mean, he fucking does a great job.
Yeah.
His shit. I liked his King Arthur.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool movie. It was just kind of like updated.
Ian Fleming is a character in that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of his real
'Cause
life.
he works with Winston
Yeah.
Churchill and blah blah blah.
And was Christopher Lee in it?
No.
That would have been fucking crazy because Christopher Lee was literally like a spy too.
Well, I thought it was weird because like it's Ian Fleming's character, who of course created Bond.
Right.
This is what a lot of people think this actual mission is what a lot of people think he built Bond on, was off of Marsh, which is the Henry Cavill's character.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then they have Henry Cavill in it, who a lot of people want to be the next Bond. And I'm like, what's going on over here? Is Guy Ritchie going to do a Bond movie?
Ooh, or Quentin Tarantino.
Did you see
Holy
his
shit.
movie got scrapped?
Yeah, the director, or what was it? The critic.
Yeah.
Something
The
like
Critic.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Film
that's cool.
Critic or something, yeah.
I think if he went out with a Star Trek movie, that would be so totally fucking badass.
Yeah.
You know, why the fuck not? I mean, he's done the movies that he's done, and then if he's really going to call it quits after 10, cool. You know, you're leaving this legacy that's going to be unsurpassed by hardly anybody, like Stanley Kubrick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Stanley Kubrick had a very, very small run, not very prolific in the way that, like, you would have, like, Spielberg or something like that, right?
Sure.
Had so many blockbusters. His movies are timeless.
Right.
It's going to be the same way.
Sure.
I watched Pulp Fiction the other night. We were watching the first part, and I was just like, God damn. Got to the part where John Travolta's like, he's chilling, you know, after he takes that hit, and he's just like, dun, 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 dun. Fucking A. Like, that was like the birth of cool when it came to movies,
Right,
you know,
sure.
for our generation, I think.
Rebirth of cool, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was like a jazz album. You're watching jazz on the screen, kinda,
Absolutely.
in a way that it was just like jumbled, but yet
In a way that I like it more than jazz.
right. It's just fucking totally cool. And
Not
then,
that there's anything wrong
yeah.
with jazz. I'm just saying
No.
I would prefer Pulp Fiction over jazz.
but imagine a Star Trek with, I don't know, just not even with that aesthetic, just a
Right,
Star
of
Trek
course.
movie with him directing it, and you're like, God damn, that's pretty deep.
I'm not as invested in the Star Trek as a lot of folks, but I would watch it, of course, 100%.
yeah.
And I kind of liked, I don't think I watched the second one, but I watched the first Chris Pine one.
Oh,
It
that
was
one's
good.
fucking bitching.
Yeah, it was
that
a
one's
good
got
movie.
the first, I don't know, 20 minutes of any movie.
It was
the
pretty
best
solid.
20
Yeah,
minutes of
yeah.
yeah. Besides, and that came out about the same time that Man of Steel came out. But the Man of Steel first part was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
That
for
first
sure.
like 20 minutes of that, you're like, oh wow,
Right?
Russell Crowe, you rule, dude. You're still there. Decimus Meridius Auridius.
Gladiator 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on. I did see they're making, they announced anyways, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Last Ronin, which is like basically in the future, and
Ralph,
there's one
right?
turtle. No, it's not.
Mhm.
I thought that at first too. It's,
So it'd be
it's
like-
Michelangelo.
Oh shit.
But he's like basically the last of his brothers, and his Splinter's dead, all of that.
Damn.
And he's, keeping the fight up basically.
Right.
And he's badass,
Yeah.
But they're making a live action version of that.
Oh, that'll be cool.
What? I was
Dude,
like, all right, let's go.
Ninja Turtles, man. I mean, what a weird premise, but holy shit, captures the imagination
And,
of
well, it's still
everybody.
going. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
Just such a off kilter idea, you mutate some turtles and they know kung fu, but they love pizza. It's so fucking like, I don't know. It's like
They got the
nursery
idea from
rhyme.
Shredder from a Cuisinart. Dude.
Right. Oh shit! What if you put a lot of shit like that on it?
What if you had metal and blades?
Yeah. Are you making salsa? Yeah.
No, I'm using the shred.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but anyways, I thought that was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'll watch Gladiator 2, dude.
No.
I don't see any reason for it.
After I watched the Pope's Exorcist, I was like, I'm fucking done with you, dude. For real.
Yeah.
You've already hit like Steven Seagal status for me. As soon as you like did that whole Dr. Jekyll shit.
Right.
Should have just fucking left him just in that little part, and then just that ruined his whole career to me.
You're dead to me now.
You're dead, Russell. You could take fucking 29-foot odd grunts, odd foot of grunts, or whatever the fuck your band name is, and like grow another 5 pounds on it. No, yeah. Trying to watch shows like The Walking Dead. The newer ones are pretty good.
I haven't watched any of those yet with Rick's back.
Yeah, and what's really sad is they wasted so many seasons.
That's why, yeah.
And I'm like, I want to go back. I want to see what happened because everything is connected in a way.
Sure, of course.
So you got 4 different series where everything's like, oh, you're like, oh, shit, Rick's in that one? What the fuck?
But aren't they having another new series, too, that starts with...
Well, right now, currently...
Okay, maybe it's already started and I don't even
there's
know.
The Ones Who Live, and that's
Okay.
Rick and Michonne's,
Okay.
like, journey together.
And then isn't there one with
Daryl.
Negan?
Yeah, and...
Daryl's in Paris or something?
Yes, with the Messiah, right? Yeah, it's the Messiah.
Yeah.
It's a great premise.
Yeah.
It's a great premise.
Yeah.
On that one, which I won't ruin it for you, but it's pretty cool.
Right on.
It's I think it's one of the better ones.
Okay.
But then the Maggie Negan one,
That's the one I was thinking of.
that's like Dead City or some shit like
Okay.
that.
Is that
And
one
they're-
already started?
Yeah, that
Okay.
one's like, I think they're 2 seasons into that already.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I have no idea, dude.
Cranking the motherfuckers out.
I
man.
stopped watching like a long time ago.
Right. There's the fear.
I watched the first maybe season and a half of Fear,
Yeah.
and that's where that was around the time when the regular Walking Dead show started getting to a point where I didn't want to watch it anymore,
Yeah.
and then I just cut ties with all of it.
Yeah. It was too saturated at that point, and then all the marathons that they had, and
Yeah.
fucking every time you turned it on TBS, it was fucking Walking Dead marathon season 1. You know, I was like, good God, you know. So yeah, it's always on.
Yeah.
So it was easy for everybody to kind of like lose interest, and I think that should be a big like marketing like thing to learn from.
Right.
Is like stop.
You can oversaturate.
Stop. Make what you
Let it marinate for a
Yes.
little bit.
make it even better every time you release something new. Because when they hit season 2 mid-season break, and she walked out for Walking Dead, and she walked out of that fucking barn, you know, the little girl, you're like, that changed fucking television forever.
Sure.
You're like, wow, that was fucking so powerful and so fucking
They had a lot of
bitchin'.
those moments early on.
That was it.
Yep.
And after that, it was a runaway fucking freight train. And that was the moment that changed it because of the jaw, like, just like, oh, what? And it never recovered after that. It just kept going.
Sure.
And you're like, oh, and fucking Daryl's off again. Yeah, cool. Negan, ooh, done.
I think I got to where they were friends with Elijah, the guy that had the tiger. Isn't
Yep.
that him?
Yep.
Yeah, the king
From
or
the
whatever.
kingdom.
Yeah.
From the kingdom.
I think I maybe got a season into the kingdom, and then I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm done watching this show.
It was cool, but
How many times can you lead a big group of zombies away?
that's all they did. That's all they did. You know, like my ultimate, like I've often thought about what if I was faced in a Walking Dead situation, right?
All right, I love this. Let's see where this
It's
goes.
like one of the best things to do. I'd have everything fortified and I'd live high, right?
Right.
Not stoned high, but like I'd live like high up.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
have a lot of access to where I was, right?
Sure.
And I wouldn't just let the motherfuckers walk around all the time.
No.
I'm going to be bored as fuck about 6 months into this shit. I'm going to have watched every DVD like 10 million times. I'm just going to be like, I broke a string on every one of my guitars. It's going to suck, right? So my implement for that is just to make very long pikes.
Yeah.
And just fucking take out fucking zombies for hours a day.
That's funny that you say that. So
So much
you are
better.
very similar to me.
Yes.
One of the things that I never understood, like, and this will, trust me, this will tie in, but we're going to get there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, those alone shows and all
Yeah.
that where they go out and camp. Like, one of the first things I would do is I would make a bunch of sharpened long sticks, and then I would plant them at an angle out from my tent.
Yes.
And I would have those all the way around my tent.
Yeah.
Because the very least that happens, if something comes at me,
It's
I'm going to
get-
know it.
Yeah, you're going to
You
hear
know what
it.
I mean? And I'm going to at least be able to have some reaction time.
Right.
And it's going to be wounded in some way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I
Something's
can
up.
come poke it with my even longer big ass stick that I have,
Right.
or shorter, whatever, depending on
Yeah.
what I need.
They don't ever show that. in
But
these
that would
shows.
be the same way I would be with The Walking Dead, like situation, right? There's zombies, okay.
Yeah.
And I would go on clearing missions every day,
Yep.
like my perimeter,
Yep.
and my
Yep.
perimeter would keep getting bigger,
Yep.
especially if I got people that I trusted and want to be around.
Or have specific areas where everything is drawn to.
Yeah.
Come on, it's just the idea behind it, and not always like being in distress.
Yeah.
Because that's all that shit is. It's like every other day is like plumbing's out. Oh, fuck. There's like 10 million of them on the way. Fuck, man. No, we should have got that shit fucking fixed.
That's right. Well, and I think the other idea too is that I already live up in the mountains
Yeah.
a bit, so like that would be part of my deal too. Like,
Right.
I want to be high because it's going to be a lot of effort for them to have to walk their undead ass up a fucking mountain.
Of course.
And
If
I'll have,
they were- yeah.
I'll have the high ground.
You have the high ground now. Well, I mean, honestly,
do it.
even if you just block off one side of the fucking house, too.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
I never see the rational things. Everybody's like,
We also live in Colorado, so there's like plenty of quarry about. So if we need big stone, you know what I mean?
shit, it's right there.
Yeah.
Fuck, and if you just had death squads going out there fucking killing zombies, not wasting your time hoarding your fucking bullets and shit, you clear out the fucking city.
I wouldn't even, dude, there'd be a point where you wouldn't even have to worry about the bullets. You
Right.
just like flamethrowers today.
Right. Or big
Let's
sticks.
go. Big sticks. Well, I'd have big sticks regardless.
You just have
You
you'd have a big semi truck and like 85 people in the back with one fucking large deal and just go park. You know what I mean? Just park and fucking everybody make noise. Let's party, yo. Make sure nobody can fall out. Nobody can accidentally be like, what's going to happen if I stand outside? Fuck, there goes Jeff.
Fucking Jeff.
But you'd just be standing out there like, oh shit, there's fucking 50 more. Let's get them, bro. Yeah. It's like,
Well,
It's just bringing them in.
that would be my rating party. So what kind of different weapons can we get so that we can kill zombies?
Right. Sky flowers. Just blowing shit up.
Oh, yeah,
Why the
absolutely,
fuck not?
dude.
I mean, come on. Yeah, then, pretty soon you're just going to get out the bulldozers because people are going to get bored too.
Because that makes sense.
You're going to have kids that are going to be like, I want to drive a bulldozer, because whenever I was a kid and this like flipped over, like the whole world went to shit, I was still playing with fucking Tonka trucks.
That's right.
There's a big one. Go have fun, son. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like that shit is going to be there, and I don't know. It would just be funny.
Yeah, just like those big fucking snow plows.
Yes.
Like that they have for like on the tracks and shit,
Yeah.
like up in the mountains. Just have one of those, dude.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Or a fucking hovercraft.
Shooting out the side.
What if you had a hovercraft and you were taking out zombies on the
that'd be
lake
kinda
and shit?
fun. Zombies on the lake.
You're just like,
Them
all right,
damned old lake
yeah,
zombies.
let's go out for that damn old lake zombie. That one's been down there for a little bit. Like, what's the dude from that fucking crocodile show? He's all, I got down there, somebody. What's his fight? He was a weird Louisiana dude.
Like the guy that steps on the snapping turtles and pulls them out. Have you seen those? Holy shit, dude. He pulls out these snapping turtles that are like bigger than me. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going down the hall now.
Just don't kiss him.
Only got 8 toes.
just don't kiss him and put your finger in the mouth. Oh shit, Louisiana. No. I mean, they never. You always see these dilapidated houses in these fucking shows too. It's like people put up like some cardboard, to hide the shit.
Right.
What I did watch about that Walking Dead was what was the show? Walking Dead Tales.
Okay.
That was actually pretty good.
Okay.
Because it was independent stories about whenever the shit was going down.
Okay. That sounds cool.
Or what happened afterwards.
So more of an anthology kind of a deal.
Yes. It was fucking cool as shit, too. Like, the first one had Olivia Munn in it, which she is just, like, ridiculously stupid. I don't know. She's just so weird.
Olivia Munn?
Yeah. Creeps me the fuck out.
She creeps me out.
It's just weird, some of the shit that she does.
Didn't she play Psylocke?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it's fucking banging badass, right?
Yeah,
You're like, man, that was a fucking perfect choice. But there's something about her.
Yeah.
Something weird.
Aaron Rodgers broke up with her.
Ooh.
Or she broke up with him.
Well, he got a discount double check on that. If that could even work for that. But and then it had Terry Crews.
Okay.
And Parker Posey.
Really?
Exactly. That's where
Are these all in different episodes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have one full episode about one person or two people.
It's like Marvel
people.
Comics Presents.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
and they had what was it? Some chick from the Cowboy Bebop live action.
Okay.
She was in it, and which was like a ghost story.
Okay.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You never really think about that shit.
Ghosts and zombies, huh?
Yeah, but it was like brujeria, It was like fucking. It was a Spanish witch.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're already Spanish witch.
Pretty good.
Nice.
And then there was one that was like, I'm not a problem. It was like an Urkel dude or some shit. I don't. That's
Did
all.
I do that?
Yeah. Imagine Urkel in a zombie apocalypse. Did I do that? Shut the fuck up.
He'd be dead in like the first week, bro.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks if he lasted that long. And it's because he's been sleeping from mono for 1 year. You know what I mean? But yeah. What else been going on with you?
That's it, man. Just working, watch a couple movies, watch some shows when I can. That's about it.
Playing a lot of guitar here lately.
Nice.
A lot of guitar. It's pretty fun.
Right on.
I'm actually learning. Liu Kang, you're learning.
Hayukin.
Total different game.
Totally different game. I did go back and watch this maybe a few weeks back, and I just had them on all the Mortal Kombat cartoons.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like all the ones they've had like fairly recently, within like the last 4 or 5 years.
Liu Kang.
There's a Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
There's a Scorpion, Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Quite a few in there.
I remember the Scorpion one was good.
Yeah, the Scorpion one was really good.
But
I just had them on while I was working, just on my computer.
Yeah, I noticed that the actual movies are on HBO or Max.
Like the Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mortal Kombat! And I'm like, God damn, I had that tape.
Oh.
What a fucking idiot I felt like. 16 years old, jamming fucking Mortal Kombat, the soundtrack to the video game. As loud as I can, and I'm like, fucking fight.
I remember those.
Fight.
It was like the
you win.
It was like dance music, like rave music with Mortal Kombat mixed into
It
it.
was so bad. It was so bad. Just like the movie.
I
I watched
enjoyed the first movie.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. It was like...
The second one, I was like, not even I can stand this.
It went off the rails.
It was worse than the Street Fighter movie, and that's saying a lot, because that Street Fighter movie was shit.
I saw Street Fighter in the theater like 15, 16 times.
Okay.
Went and saw it every other day because I live right by a theater.
Big M. Bison fan.
So why not, right? It was $1.
Yeah, absolutely.
After school,
man.
watch the movie.
Did you ever watch the Legend of Chun-Li movie?
No, I never did. I have it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, you're not missing a lot.
I have the Incredible Hulk series, I think we talked a little bit about that because
Mm-hmm.
there's so many big. Luke Perry's in that as Rick Jones.
Say that again.
Luke Perry is in that Incredible Hulk series
Really?
from the early '90s. It was after. I think it was after. Shit, because they did a whole Marvel thing with Fox for a long time before X-Men took off. So I think it was around that time when X-Men was really getting going.
Okay.
That first X-Men series was.
Sure.
But it's really good because Matt Fuhr's in it. He's Max Headroom.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in tons of shit.
Of course.
Mark Hamill is one of the he's Gargoyle.
Okay.
Luke Perry is Rick Jones. Neil McDonough, which everybody knows this dude, but they don't really know him.
Neil McDonough plays M. Bison in the Chun-Li movie.
Right? See? That dude right there. Yes.
He's
See,
the bad guy in the Walking Tall movie with The Rock.
Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
But they don't really know his name. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's in it as Bruce Banner, and then Lou Ferrigno does the Hulk. Hulk even does like a fucking like tippy-toe dance at the very beginning, like during the credits. I don't know if they're for the opening montage, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they meant it, but he does his like Heisman move. They're throwing bombs at him. He's like, pew, pew, pew. And his hands are up and he's like twinkle toes in it and shit. But it's pretty cool because they're really getting into some story. Doc Samson was on it. And they get into a lot of the origin part because it's more of a monster. They're even treating it like more of a monster movie show, you know?
Okay.
Because every time Bruce Banner's about to get cured, right? Something fucking happens. And the leader like siphons some of his power.
Of course.
But it was a really pretty fucking cool show, you know? Like, damn, why didn't I know about this? You know?
1996.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That had great animation at the very beginning, but then oh shit! Even one of the main dudes that plays Thunderbolt,
Mm-hmm.
the guy that plays Ross, he is Dean Vernon. Because Vernon Wells, and he was in the movie Animal House.
Yeah, yeah.
So if his name was Dean Vernon too. I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, he is the one that's voicing Thaddeus Ross.
Really?
Which is why you're like, holy shit. So you got a pretty good voice cast. Mark Hamill, early days.
Sure.
Whenever he was still doing like Batman
That was
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, he was, because I remember watching the very first episode of that Batman show.
Where he did the Joker's voice?
Yeah. And that was later on.
And that's
too.
super iconic for that character.
Yeah.
I read it's weird. Neil McDonough that you talked about. He does a lot of superhero stuff too. He was Damien Dark in the Arrowverse TV shows. Pretty iconic character, a villain in that. But he's also Dum Dum Dugan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think probably what people probably really remember him from is, I would say, Minority Report.
Yeah, his eyes.
Yeah.
In that movie in particular, they were highlighted. They were like Meg Foster eyes, from They Live and shit.
Yeah.
Where they're just you're like, holy shit, what? That's mystic. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's where everybody
actual
knows.
eyes. Yeah.
And that's where everybody knows him. They know he's a striking personality and he's a good character actor. But and it's like, what's that dude's name? I know that guy. He's like, wahoo!
I think he's one of the people that kind of speaks out against Hollywood a bit, though. Like, I think his career got stymied because of his Christianity or something. Like,
I could see it.
Something.
His theta rays
Or
were
like
too much.
he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. Want to bone people in the butt. I don't know. Like he's a happily married guy.
He didn't want to puff daddy no more.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was the deal. He's like, I don't like to puff daddy.
What's up with that shit too? That shit.
I don't know why anybody's surprised.
All of that shit.
Did anybody see Get It to the Greek?
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah. So Puff Daddy's in that, and like, it doesn't play out well now
because it's Puff Daddy.
Old P Diddler.
Oh man,
the P Diddler.
I don't want to. Yeah,
come sit on my lap, Meat Mills.
They're just I'm like, I mean, you got R. Kelly, you got all these people.
I like to pee on teenagers.
So come pee on me.
Are you a child?
That's gross.
Yes.
Fucking R. Kelly.
Yes. All
And then
those
crying. Like, leave me alone. I didn't do nothing wrong. Leave me alone.
Except
like,
you're
dude.
40, dude.
Yeah. Come on, man. Oprah don't care.
Right?
No, there's some other things that, like, I read the comic The Three Jokers.
Yeah.
Have you read through that?
I've read, yeah.
And it's actually pretty decent.
It's all right.
You know,
I don't care about the Jokers, or there's three of them.
It's weird that they had the three, and
but then they didn't. Now it's like they've now in the story. It was another personality put into his head by one of the guys that trained Bruce Wayne to do the same thing. And like in Batman comics, I don't know if that's right now or if it's like wrapped up, but let me tell you this. Batman's not in charge. Some personality named Zernamar or something like that, something real weird, that he created like as a basically like Tower of Babel for himself, like when Batman starts making the wrong choices or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So it's this personality, but it's like very militant.
Oh.
Prior to that story, there was a story where he made a robot called Failsafe that would take him out if there was issue. So now those things are together in one and trying to,
Wow.
I'm like, oh, Chip.
You shouldn't do this, man. Shouldn't. Didn't they tell you not?
It is what it is.
It's a suit of armor around the world.
It's the brother eye. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, anything else for this quick cast, my friend?
Nothing anymore. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for listening to a patented Quickcast, because we did patent it. Yeah.
Trademarked.
and it's a graphic that'll stick in your head forever.
Yeah, we don't know what it looks like, but just make it up in your head.
There you go. Bam.
Perfect.
Where can they reach us at, Dan?
They could reach us at dropculturepodcast.com or dropculture.com.
Yes.
Dropculturepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to drop us a little line, or you can hit us up on those social medias that we're always on. You know, you can just look up Drop Culture. We're there.
Yeah. And
we're
if
there.
you ever
mostly posted nothing, but we'll respond.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if anybody has an idea of a show that you would like to do with us, reach out.
Absolutely, that's for sure. And then the other side of that too is we were talking earlier today, this little behind the scenes, how the sausage is made. But if you guys, we're going to do a few anthology movies coming up down the road. If you guys have some that you might recommend that are a little outside the box, you can let us know at all those places as well.
Right.
So with that, peace.
Later, dudes.